Thank you, Allie. Well, schools in Texas are wavering on whether or not to require kids to watch President Obama's address to students on Tuesday. Districts are being flooded with calls and emails from parents threatening to keep their children home. And Katrina Pearson is a member of the Dallas Tea Party Coalition. She says she won't keep her 12-year-old son home, but is asking the school for a hall pass for her son to forego watching the speech or participating in the ensuing activities. And Katrina joins us this morning. Katrina, nice to see you.
Good to see you, Clayton.
So what are your plans on Tuesday?
Well, our plans on Tuesday, we just heard back from the Garland Independent School District. We do have an opt-out program for children that do not want to partake in this particular program and activities.
Okay, well, White House Press Secretary Robert Gibbs has been answering the calls of parents yesterday in a press conference. He said this. He says, look, I think we've reached a little bit of silly season when the President of the United States can't tell kids in school to study and study hard and stay in school. He says a silly season about all of these parents who are angry over this. What do you say to him?
I say call it what you want. No two presidents are the same, and the issue isn't the fact that we don't want the President of the United States to address our children. The issue is, do you trust this person? We are talking about the exact same administration that has continuously demonized American citizens. We are talking about a president that has surrounded himself with a bunch of thugs, criminals, and now convicts, and the exact same president that insists on allowing his administration to call American citizen names. So those hundreds and thousands and now millions of angry mob members are also parents and grandparents, and they should have made that connection.
The White House says there's no political message here in the speech that the president is going to give, but he's simply going to tell kids to work hard, stay in school. What's wrong with that message? You have a 12-year, I'm sorry, your son is 12, he's in the 6th grade. You don't want him to hear that message from the president?
Yes. Oh, he hears that message all the time, but he hears it from me and other relatives. The problem isn't the president. The problem is the fact that, do you trust this person? This administration is just doing business as usual. They have bypassed every appropriate channel to gain direct access to our children without any regards for the superintendents of the school districts and the school boards themselves. The activities are quite questionable.
Well, if history is any lesson, let's go back a little bit. In the 1980s, Ronald Reagan gave a similar speech to school students. In 1991, President George H.W. Bush then gave a speech to school children as well. And he even went so far as to ask kids to write essays to the school, to the White House in ways in which these students could help the President of the United States. At the time, liberals were upset about it and said that that was outside the bounds. If it were 1991, if we could go back in a time capsule, your son were in school, it's 1991, what would you say to that? Would you pull him out of school then, pull him out of class for that?
Absolutely not. No two presidents are the same. So you have to ask yourself, the question is, do you trust this person? And I think any responsible parent can tell you, if they do not trust an individual, they will not give you access to their child.
So the bottom line is you simply don't trust the president and you don't want the president speaking to your child?
No, I do not want the president speaking to my child directly. And, I mean, we know as parents that this will be nothing but a page right out of Saul Alinsky's book and his choice in words to our kids, and it's just going to start the indoctrination process, and we say hall pass on that.
So you got a copy because the White House hasn't even released this speech yet. They're going to do so on Monday. You actually have some information inside the speech that's different from what the White House is planning on releasing?
What we have is the classroom activities, which were posted on the Department of Education.
Okay. All right, Katrina Pearson, we appreciate it, and I guess your son will not be in class on Tuesday. Well, instead, you're hoping for a hall pass to get out of hearing the president speak to him on Tuesday.
Oh, yes, he'll definitely be at school. He'll dismiss that speech and activities.
All right, Katrina, thanks so much for joining us this morning on the show. We appreciate it.